Hi everyone. Hi. Welcome back.
Back again.
We're back
here.
for another episode. And this episode, trust me, you will love this episode because even me, I'm coming into this episode as a beggar. So anything you see me do, this is just me trying to, earn a living.
I came to look for my airpod. I'm not here to beg, but I came to look for my airpod.
But
You understand?
You can see all the codes,
We're all begging.
begging at the beginning
We're
of
all begging today.
I've not done introduction. Everybody's begging.
We're just begging.
Who are you? What are we?
If you understand, see, by the end of this episode,
You know how
you
we
understand
go
why we just started the episode begging. So yes, welcome to the Nothing Podcast, the whisperers of hot tech gists in Africa. So from your trending Twitter drag to insider gists of founders, developers, community leaders, and everything in between.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the funny thing is, anything we are saying, they have said it somewhere before. But the problem is you didn't see it, or
you
maybe
did not hear
You
about
just just
nothing
catch
about
You
it.
didn't
So
catch it.
we are here to just replay it for you.
Expatiate. Elaborate.
So, without further ado, back to our usual suspects. Suspect A, B, and C. So, Bami made us, not Bami, sorry, Bam Bam. Bam Bam made us suspects. So, yeah, for sure, Timothy, OVIE. You can always see me on socials at Timothy_OVIE. I'm just an humble human looking for where to see his next food. So if you have any opportunity out there for me, do it reach out and DM.
It's okay. Your introduction self is already taking all the time.
So I'm not begging.
Move on, please.
I'm humbly begging.
Moving on.
Moving on. We're having suspect number 2, exhibit B. He said it's not an exhibit.
Please say no be exhibit.
But again,
Yes.
exhibit B, suspect number 2. Jamin, jack of all trade.
Active like
Active like Chivita.
That's
Anytime I bring deals, I deal on deals.
Deal on deals.
Whatever it is, I can do it. So
Don't carry it,
Businessman.
go outside.
Don't carry work.
go outside.
Any legal work. Need to do.
Active as long as it's legal, it's
Yeah.
within federal government will do me anything. Now let's
Bring
go.
the come. If you watch a previous episode, you know that he did carpentry work
It
at the beginning of his career.
Yes, so
He has
you
done
do
a lot of
everything.
things.
You
So
do bricklayer.
do bricklayer
You
work.
do
Sell gari.
You cut cassava.
The answer that if you watch
Catch
toilet, they say if
fish.
you watch toilet,
You wash toilet.
depending on the pay. So again, it's all right.
Nah.
Any kind of work you get for
Anything
him.
can do
Bring
it.
deals. See, even director they look me like this.
So finally, to the sweetest lady, international
Take us,
renowned
baby.
tech host,
Yes.
Bam Bam.
Yeah.
Hi, how you doing?
Hola.
Why every time I do an introduction, I don't go ask this guy, hi, how you doing? Just like, hi.
Yeah, of course now. Why not?
Babe, now how you?
Have you thought about what I said the last time?
No. No single thought. I told you you're not my spec.
Ooh, on air.
Again? See, that
Now
one,
my share.
like I said, keep bombing.
Maybe if you don't
Keep
get money
pushing.
like Jay.
Wow.
Well,
I don't
Okay, no
talk
problem.
about
You understand why I would beg on this episode. You can see that, I'm not someone's spec because I don't have money. So the only issue here is just that I don't have money. But every other thing counts. So it's just to
Who
make
tell
money,
you
right?
every other thing counts?
mm.
Anyways,
Moving on.
back to introducing myself. Hello,
Hmm.
viewers. My name is Bami Kei. You can call me Bami or like Timothy newly found. Bam Bam.
Not me, newly found. Good. Also, my people. Also,
Bam Bam. I am
yeah.
a community manager. As you can see.
I don't know for
Community
solution I get
leader.
work. They do everything when I give business.
I
I just be
am
I look for
like,
my next meal.
an event host as well.
Jeez.
International event host.
Oh,
Please,
so you have any
let's add
deal?
it.
Because I want to
Any-
host your events.
Yeah.
Reach out. She's
Holla at
active.
me.
Then finally, to our special guest.
Yes,
Oh,
that
yeah.
wanna beg.
Yes.
I want to beg today, right? So at least if you were you
Today's
on this
episode
seat, you
is
will
on
beg.
begging.
You understand? So, she's a community manager. That part I know.
She's
But-
Gogolo.
I attended an event and thank God I collected her number. I bet she gave my number, no sha, but at least I saved number. And glory be to God, she saved my number.
You
But then-
call the view update.
there was an episode you were saying made the bomber and the bombie save each other number.
Yes, sir.
Because some updates, not the past WhatsApp status,
Yes,
that they go
sir.
end. You won't see that update on
anywhere.
Any
on
other-
Twitter, anywhere. WhatsApp status will end. So glory be to God. I saved her number, she saved mine. So every period I'll just be seeing freelancing, Upwork, this money, that money. I'm like, I didn't say work at the work now. I didn't do aware. Then this morning, before this shoot we are about to watch, hey God,
we saw it together.
we saw something. Someone made, I will call figure. Someone made 750,000 doing just commenting on LinkedIn as a role. 750K
Let the
in a
camera
month.
go to her face before I
But
pick her. So that they will see what
the person editing this video, please, admission of this, zoom her face for me. Ah! Ha!
penetrate her face.
Penetrate her face. So you will see there's money. It's not that person than J. Agba freelancer, community manager. Come teach us how to freelance and how to navigate, that freelancing here in Africa. Hi, how you doing?
Hi Timothy. Hi Bami.
Hi Jay. Hi, my namesake.
You don't tell your name.
You remove your full name.
Timothy is going directly. You know some things you don't do it directly. Go packaging. When you're going to meet your helper, you have to package it one kind.
You have to sell it.
You have to find common ground. I'm already navigating the common ground.
Yes,
let's go.
Okay.
So our conversation today is centered around navigating freelancing. How to get started, challenges you will face, best way to overcome them, even if it makes sense for you to go into freelancing. But trust me, it makes sense to go into freelancing. You just see, conclude that partner is good to enter. So your first question should be, how should I? That should be your question.
No.
But again, first question I have for you. I have one time I usually have two questions going back to back before anybody will jump in and steal my shine. But first, why freelancing? And how did you get started? Because I'm with my phone right now, about to take it step by step.
Okay, well, it's not something I just woke up and decided to do. It just happened by chance. Wow. So that was in 2022. I just got into tech then, and I was job hunting for a very long time. So
wait,
I got my.
For possibly.
She go into tech 2022.
Yes.
Okay. And you previous episodes, like you have not still started your career like 7 years later or 8 years later.
So I was job hunting, and I started off as a product manager. Wow. But then I got my first job as a program manager. So I did that for just 2 months, and my position was followed. So I was out there in the job market again, job hunting for the next 6 months. Then finally, from there I had a friend, Shibwell. He was a community manager at that time. So he said, Jay, probably you should try community management and see if that works for you. So because then I was already active in communities, just contributing. I even joined a few open source projects. So, and that was what actually helped me at that point. I stumbled upon a community, a VL. The Shebwell works there as well, so he kind of brought it to my notice that okay, they are looking for a community intern, because he was also a community intern at the time. So, and that's how they interviewed me, and they felt like, okay, yeah, you're a good fit. So I worked with them as an intern for 3 months, and they were paying me. That was when I earned my first dollars. They were paying me $250 a month. So for the 3 months, stop it. So for the 3 months, they paid me $750 USD. And
current exchange rates.
Yeah. And that was towards the end of September. So I was already thinking, how do I get my next job? Because I didn't know what else to do. And 2 weeks after, I had a friend I met at one hangout for community managers hosted by Comsor, then in 2022, Jeff Tabo, the founder of Talent Pool. So someone reached out to him looking for a freelance community manager, and he recommended me. So I went on the call with the lady. She's based in the US. So it was just a 30 minutes call, and after our conversation, she was like, yes, I would love to work with you, but then this is a freelance gig. I've forgotten the hours. I think it was about 20 hours a week, and then she was paying me $24 per hour then. So because Upwork policies then were kind of a bit tricky. It was not the general 10% we have right now. Then it was based on your earnings. Let's say if you're just starting, they might be charging you 18. I've forgotten the exact figure, but they take a particular percentage from all your earnings. So the lady was trying to make sure I still had enough money, more than what Upwork was taking. So she increased the hours and increased the rate from our normal $20 per hour to 24 for the first 3 months before we went back to $20. So the issue we now faced was, how do we track our time, since is freelancing, so your client needs to know what you're doing with their time, right, before they can pay you. So that was when the idea of Upwork came. I already had a profile, but then I wasn't doing anything on the platform. So she was like, wow, that's good, let's go to Upwork. So she now hired me again as a freelancer on Upwork.
Okay.
So that was how I started. So I worked with her for 10 months. I made over $6,000 or more while working with her. So what caused the end of the contract was because she got her, it was a pet project for her. So she was like, oh, I want to go into something else. I want to do more writing now. And the community can come later on. So that was how we ended. And then she left me a very beautiful review. The review was, up till now, people still hire me because of their review, especially solopreneurs, because she's a solopreneur. So people want someone that is proactive, someone that I have a very diverse skill, in the sense that only me, I do social media, I do graphics,
You active.
I design, I do
Active
so
guy. Okay.
entrepreneurs love someone that have this diverse skill, in the sense that they know that if they give you this thing, you're gonna do everything possible to make it happen. So it's not like you're gonna depend on someone else. Oh, get me the design, oh, help me draft the content for social media. I was doing everything. So I think she was very satisfied with my work, and she left me a very beautiful review. So that's how I actually started on Upwork. So I took it off from there.
And
She
the rest has been history.
Exactly.
Oh God.
Before
Now 2025.
Okay. Before you can ask a question, right? I just have a follow up. You see, someone took a chance on you, right?
Mm-hmm.
Can take a chance on me.
Is that your question?
Take a chance on me. So, like, say you've been in this thing. So you said 2022. That's like
October 2022. 2 years.
2 years
and a few months.
and a few months, right?
Few months,
So if you are to give an advice to someone who's about to start, what do you think is the best possible way for them to, like, get into freelancing?
She don't give me advice, Taya. I don't know if she just say it. Maybe I don't take up.
Your head not straight to follow advice. Please, man, this is your turn.
Give us advice.
Maybe she was unable to follow up due to her busy schedule and be an international,
International
and
host.
so forth. Like me now, I have nothing I'm doing.
The civil servant to
I'm
me.
a civil servant. You understand? So that's who I am. And I want to, support those things. How can I, begin?
Okay, first thing first, you need to understand that it's really not easy getting gigs on Upwork, because it's a global platform. We are competing with Indians, Pakistanis, people based in the US, London, even Africans as well.
Yeah.
So you need to make sure that what you're offering is very, very good. And the honest truth is, even some people there on Upwork, if you are hiring from the point of a client, you would see that a lot of proposals that people do submit is just, it's
Sharp rubbish.
Exactly. So if you have substance, then you stand a very good chance. And for someone that is just starting out, I always advise, what do you plan to sell? Upwork is a platform that you come and sell your skills, and clients buy them. So what do you plan to sell? I am a community manager. I started as a community person. I do programs. I do LinkedIn because I love LinkedIn as a platform. I'm very active there. And then I realized that a lot of clients are looking for someone that would help them with their LinkedIn. It could be LinkedIn content. It could be you just commenting on their behalf. It could be you drafting strategy to build their personal brand or online presence. So I started doing that as well. And then I realized that clients were also looking for people that can do graphic design. I started learning how to use Canva and Figma as well. So I'm always going to advise, what are you good at? You could be a medical doctor, but then you don't want to sell your medical skills on Upwork. But then you know that you're a good writer. You could start with learning how to sell your writing skills. So it's not a must that is what you do currently that you will sell on Upwork. You could just go out there, look for most in-demand skills on Upwork. I believe last week Upwork published a lot of in-demand skills that they've seen on their platform. So you look for those and see the one that you can actually do. I know right now virtual assistant is on the rise. Every day I get on the platform, I see at least nothing less than 10 virtual assistant roles. But then because the role is very high in demand, we have
a lot of people.
exactly we
Like
have
3,000 applied to this already.
we have millions of people doing virtual assistants. So next thing now is you need to stand out. And how do you stand out as a beginner? You need to work on your portfolio, work on your project. When a client comes to your profile, they need to give you a chance. Someone has to take a chance on you, right?
Exactly.
So for
So
someone
the
to
problem is
be able
that
to make an informed decision, they need to work with something. And that's where your portfolio comes in. Work on stuff that you can put on your profile, so for clients to look at. Let's say you're a graphic designer and you don't even have one single flyer on your profile. How would they now gauge your skill and say, okay, this person is good, I love their designs, let me go with them? So while you're trying to get jobs, you keep working on your skills. And another thing I always advise is look for people that are already doing what you want to do. You will definitely get a lot of ideas. I'm a thief. I steal creatively. Before I worked
Learn
on
how
my
to steal creative.
Hold up. Say that again while looking at the camera. That's camera.
okay, I steal creatively. So I always advise people to do that. There is nothing you want to do now that someone has not done. So what's holding you back? You just need to go and look at what they did, and from there you get ideas on how to even surpass them. What I did before I worked on my profile, I opened up to 20 profiles of freelancers doing community management at the time. Like, they are top people. I looked at it one after the other, and as I was looking, I was taking notes of the things I loved about their profile, and after that I combined everything.
Imagine combining 20
Please,
people.
where's your profile?
20 people profile.
Where's your profile?
Where's your profile on Upwork? You start there.
Yeah, so let's start from there.
So I'm going to advise, these are things you need to do. Make sure you have a very good profile. Let a client come to your profile and know that, okay, this is what you're doing, these are the services you're saying. And one last thing, you're just starting out and your rate is already at $50 per hour.
You have to bill in dollars.
What to start on bill?
Yes, now.
Why know the value of I know the value of my work.
They don't know.
Yeah,
so they
that's
don't
true.
know.
That's true.
So you have to come down.
These are the things we'll go through.
Yes, you have to. You're just starting. So that's why when you get the job, you now show them the value
Show
of
them.
that. So when they're leaving you, like, they'll come back.
Will they increase when they see my work?
Yeah, there are some clients that will increase your pay because of how good you are. And even when the contract, they can even hire you full time. I've seen people that have gotten full time jobs from Upwork. Yes, there is an option of Upwork from contract to hire. You can toggle it off or on. My own is on. So in the sense that because I've gotten a gig with what's the name of this dev community? It's a very big platform.
Dev.com.
There he is. Thank you. So it's a big so imagine working with them, and at a point they say, okay, we want you to come in full time and we're going to be paying you this amount. I mean,
God when?
Really,
God
when?
now.
God
No,
when?
not when. God
now.
now. She's here. Is God now.
So to summarize, start from somewhere, have a very low rate. Don't just go. You definitely get to $100 per hour, but you have to start from somewhere. Work on your profile, work on your portfolio. Make sure you have things that people can look at to make a decision on the skills, the level of skills you have, and also keep improving yourselves and your skill. So while you're trying to get a job, you're still working on your background, your skill, and everything that you have going on for you. So yeah, that's it.
She talked about why you are trying to get a job.
Just
That brings me to my own question. So, are you saying that basically freelancing or Upwork, any of the platform, is like a side hustle for especially Africa, or is it like something that can be sustainable? Because I still need help from you. I do full-time role, but you they do freelancer, but I need help from you. You get.
Okay, it's just about managing your time and what's required of you.
What have
For
I been
I
doing?
try not to take I try not to take too much
Do you get?
too much gigs that I can manage.
Oh,
So
okay.
yes, I try
But
to
take
take.
more now so that you can be giving me some.
I can design. I can do community.
I can do everything.
I can do anything you are
This
doing. I
one
can
can
do
do
it.
everything.
I do everything.
Please,
You can bring on there.
just be taking it.
When
We'll be
it-
doing it.
I have a question, right? So the first time I heard about Upwork, Fiverr and the rest.
I've not answered the last one, but
Yeah, you can just go back. That was when I was trying to get my career started. That's 7 years ago, that period. So I stumbled upon the platform. I was thinking it was not like open to Africans or maybe Nigerian. I think that time there was an issue when it comes to payment. So people open an account on Upwork as a Nigerian, and they get paid
And they get paid.
as a Nigerian, not really going through any
Cut corners.
court corners on Upwork.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh,
when I started, I had my dorm account with UBA, so they used to wire it to my account.
why?
But then
Yeah.
they were charging.
What does
Upwork
wire
was
mean?
charging $30 for every wire.
Transfer they did.
Yes,
That's
and at some
crazy.
point they increased it to $50.
Ah,
That's when I was like, no
You've
way.
had enough. You've had enough.
this is
So,
a lot.
I started looking for all these foreign like Grey,
GPay.
Payoneer, GPay, and Wise doesn't work for Nigerians, and PayPal doesn't work. So I now have my Grey account connected. So I use Grey mostly because it's very easy for me. And from Grey, I just convert any amount I want to use to Naira and move it to my Naira account. So before I had my dorm, so I just used to. I still have some money in my dorm, but I just left it there because UBA
right?
policies are very
I
annoying.
have BBO.
And you don't even need
So
to
I
pay for
sometimes
me.
I have to go to the bank to. I have a check, and so I go. I write and they give me. So, but then that means I have to go to the bank. So when I started
It's rich
using
people problem.
Grey,
I left.
Go
Check.
bank mad me.
I left
It's a rich
UBA
people's
and
problem.
the money inside. But maybe one day we'll go back and go and withdraw it.
We can go together.
Go.
Today,
We
what's
can
the time?
go. No,
On
I think today
Monday.
is over.
On Monday we can
We
go.
can go on
We can
Monday.
go now.
You know.
Can't you go on Monday?
Yeah,
you
active.
know,
Can
I'm
go any
very
What
day.
are you
free.
doing?
Nothing.
We can
What
go
am
to
I
you.
doing
It's
with
not
my
UBA. We
time?
can go there now.
UBA.
We'll go there and collect our money.
Go.
No, sorry, your money.
So let's talk about like the
No,
challenges.
she has not answered my question.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah.
A
Okay,
question.
yes. It's all about time management, right? So I have a full-time job. So basically what I do is when I have a task, so I wake up in the morning, I write down everything I want to do. I classify all of them as jobs. So my full-time job definitely is going to come first because it's a full-time. So I write down everything I want to do for my job, my full-time job. Then I dedicate hours I want to work. Each client has a specific time or specific hours they want you to work, or they have limits for each week. So I have a client that is 40 hours a limit. I know definitely that I cannot exhaust that, but it's just that in situations where you can. And I have another one for 15, 10, 5. So I know that, okay, for this client that has just 5 hours this week, that means I can work 1 hour for them a day and I'm good. So when I clock in their 1 hour, I close their tab. I have another one that 10 hours a week. I know that, okay, let me do 2 hours. So Monday, I know that I will do 2 hours for them. And the other one, I 15 hours, so I say okay, let me do 3 hours for them.
Okay.
And then it also depends on there are some weeks I don't even do much because you don't want to manufacture work, right? There are some weeks that you don't just have much things to do, and there are some weeks there will be a lot of things. So when with situations like that, you have to work more. So which means I go to bed very late, I wake up very early as well. Sometimes I go to bed 12, 1, and 5, 6 I'm already awake working.
Things to do for the money.
Exactly. So it can be hectic. So that's why I try not to take too much gigs that I can handle. And currently I'm looking towards having an agency. I've not really
I'm
this part I love.
I've not really concluded.
I'm open to new roles.
She said I have community manager, I have design. I'm sure I'm the community manager.
So I've not really concluded whether I want to proceed with that, but it's something
proceed now. I can take 5 different
You have
roles.
to conclude now.
No problem. You have no issue. You have people. Yes, now. What am I doing?
On the camera.
You set up your first team.
Team not complete.
Your team is here. Your team is here.
Eh?
Just give us the first assignment by Monday morning. We are up and running.
Up and running.
Hit the ground running.
Hit the ground running.
So let's talk about the challenges. What are some challenges like you faced as a freelancer, taking on freelance gigs?
There are lots.
Look how many rounds before.
No, Upwork has a policy.
Okay.
Yeah, that's why I take more of hourly tracked gigs because I have to turn on my tracker. Upwork has a desktop tracker, so which means while you're working, it's taking note of your keyboard, your mouse, and yes. Yes, and it takes a capture
of your screen.
Wow. So let's say you are on WhatsApp chatting. And sometimes I could be walking and playing music on YouTube and it captures. I don't really mind because I know I'm actually working and it's not something really incriminating. So, but let's say you're watching something you're not supposed to watch. Then you now have you now have to delete 10 maybe 10 to 20 minutes of your work. Yes.
Okay, we delete it. It will not appear that.
It will not appear that you work. So
you go work 5 hours. You go delete 3 hours because it.
Oh God. Okay.
So the challenges are. We have light issues. That one is very
Nigeria challenge.
And everybody they
especially when you are just starting, you cannot say, let me go and do solar. You don't have that luxury, so you still have to depend on what you can get from NEPA, or maybe if you have Gen, you can be running Gen with the money you are making. And then another issue is network. It can be very annoying, but I use MTN 5G and it's not so great like 100%, but it's not so bad. So it's manageable. So that's what I use. Probably in the future I would consider getting Starlink because people have talked about it a lot. So but for now, then another challenge is maybe on Upwork, but I really do not care. So there are some gigs that you would want to apply for. It's specified for people from a particular region. It could be they could say US, Philippines, United Kingdom, Canada, or just Europe, or they can say Indians. And there are some they will say only Africans. Like I have a gig, a mentoring gig with in collaboration with University of Michigan, and Luna is a university in Malawi. So they were just looking for Africans. So as a Nigerian, you stand a higher chance with jobs like that. And then there are jobs that is just anybody worldwide, so you can apply. But then I cannot assume what's going on behind the on the client's mind, whether they have their biases or not. That's none of my business. But as long as you say worldwide, I'm applying.
Don't bomb the work. Don't bomb the work.
All right. So yes. So to add to the challenges, I want to know, like, how do you work full time and you have all this freelancing? Yeah, you mentioned that sometimes they take pass within your power go carry. Okay, but on situations where you have meetings clashing, How do you sort that with knowing that you have a full-time role? That
Well,
could be a big challenge.
I'm a boss.
So see a boss lady, you know the same.
God.
So
I need to sit properly.
That's all.
I find the best position. I know they work. My spirit is restless.
Come
No.
on now.
Ha.
She said I'm a boss. Okay,
Yes.
please go on,
Yeah.
man.
I'm in
Let's
charge
have
of my
it.
time. So
Yes.
even my manager at my full-time job knows that I do freelancing.
Oh.
So before you add anything to my calendar, you have to ask me. So
If I had things in my calendar.
I get calendar.
stop it.
Wow, God.
Okay.
So he could say, Jay, we want to have this call. Are you available? So, and then, as I'm a program manager at my full-time job, so at the end of the day, I'm the one that handles majority of the calls. So which means I try to put it in the situation that it doesn't affect me.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
So I know, and then majority of my gigs don't require constant calls.
like that.
So I just have I've had this client that I've been working on with since June, and we only have weekly calls on Mondays 5 p.m. Now it's bi-weekly, so I already know that 5 p.m. and it's just 15 minutes. So 5 p.m. the day is already ending for my full-time job, so we rarely have calls at that time. And then I have another one. We have 30 minutes, 11:30 on Mondays. So before we decided, I was one that said, okay, I checked because I know I have my stand-ups by 10 on Mondays. So I said, okay. She was like, can we have 10? I was like, no, I checked. I know that I have stand-ups. I told her, no, let's do 11, and she agreed. So in this way, I try to move my my calls and meetings in such a way that they don't clash.
Okay.
And even in situations where they have to, then I would have to decide on which one to go for. Yes.
So I have worked. I mean, I've interviewed with some companies. I think I was mentioning some of the episodes that I interviewed with one Web3 company like that, and they asked me, not only Web3 safe. I still interview with one Nigerian top bank company. They said that I need to leave my current job.
Eh?
And let me know, this is camera, so let me not cut the amount they want to pay. That they want me to leave what I'm earning.
Is it a bank?
Yes, ma'am. They want to pay
I
1
think
point.
it's the bank.
Yeah, you also know it. They want to pay 1 point something million naira, and they want me to leave my dollar salary to come and
You are making money in this tech.
come and join them.
I can't see myself.
Do you not know what they were telling me? We have holidays plans. We have 13th month salary.
You get
we have
remote companies.
and then they were like, and you have to be coming in. Sometimes it's hybrid.
Any role, I've rejected dozens of roles.
So now
What's to
that's
tell me hybrid?
Wow.
Have you ever
Wow.
worked with
Define
average? Even this January, I've rejected another one because I cannot deal with.
Can you do referral?
They refer us.
You said if you do, I'm shut up.
I feel do am. You know that one, Sha.
Do it, oh, I didn't do anything, oh.
You know say no go fit
I
do am.
did do anything.
You go fit do am. You know na the word no say no guy do. Bring the work I go run am. No issue no dey.
But JB no fit do
Jimmy no
am.
fit do am. That is for sure.
Why? But why?
Yes, nah. You get you know say your this way they get. Now the levels your this not every.
Bring her come.
The best marketing
Bring
deal.
her come.
Like me now they collect small picking deal.
Now the question is, have you ever worked with a full-time company that would be telling you, you cannot take any of these freelance jobs, or
No,
you cannot be doing extra?
I have not.
It's full time.
You belong to
Only
me,
you
and you belong
belong
to
to
me
us.
alone.
Belong to us alone.
No, I always look at the contract before I sign. So I always look out for a particular word, flexible.
Flexibility.
That company go right flexible for that place. They go hold your leg. Flexible they go. They play here. But yeah.
Yeah, it's because my job, my company is very flexible in the sense that they know. Okay, last
Is it a
week
Nigerian company? And they are flexible.
yes,
That's interesting.
Good.
last
That's
week
good.
That's good. Nariaya. Talk aloud.
So last week we had this
assistant community
test
manager.
drive. We had this
Community
test drive and
assistant.
awards program, and it required that we have to put in a lot of work. So even as at 11, I was still working. So they know that, okay, because it's required, that's why I'm putting in working at that time, because the next day is the event and I want to make sure that everything is good. So it could mean that on Monday I may not really have much to do on my table and I have the whole day to myself. Nobody is going to come and say, hey, you're not working. Why are you not working? It doesn't work. So it's just you know what you need to do. So on stand-ups on Mondays we talk about what we want to do for the week. So you already know what you want to do for that week. So by Friday you should have done, even if not 100%, 90% of it. So I just go and do my shit.
Go and do my shit.
I have two questions.
So I have two.
You can get two.
Two questions.
Let's
Let's share one.
You have asked too much.
You have asked too much.
I'll do one.
Let me go first. So now you said you've been doing, freelancing as a side also. But me now, I don't want to do a side also. I want to dive in.
Dive into it.
I want to lock in.
I want to lock in exactly.
Locked in.
So do you think somebody can create a career out of freelancing?
Yes, I've seen people do. I know people. One of the mentors in our program, that's what she does.
Sustainable one. No?
Yes, she has made over $200,000.
Jesus.
Nigerian.
She's from Kenya.
Okay.
On Upwork.
Yes, she's still African. She's still African. Now we.
So yes, it depends. It depends if that's what you want to do, which means that you have to double down. So me too. I think that was in 2023. I wasn't so active on the platform.
Yeah.
2023, 2024. I wasn't so active because I was in between. Do I want to keep doing this? I really wanted a full-time job because of the stability that comes with it. Yes, you know that every month this particular amount is coming. But for Upwork, there are some months you may not really make much. There are some months you make way much, and you're like, wow.
Is that way much? We're gonna be focusing.
So people do it as a full-time job, and people have agencies. So in the sense that you know that this is what you want to do, and then what you do now is try to get more gigs and have people work under you, and then you decide how much you want to be paying them. So, but you decide? Yes, you decide how much you want to pay them. But the money comes to you.
Of that decision.
I want to work for you. How much will you be paying? Just decide. Just decide. Okay, so then my second question. I think you've answered the question, Shao. I wanted to ask you if with this freelance work, if I can buy Benz. But since you said you make 200K,
I've seen people with over 2 million, 1 million. Yes, but they've been on the platform
yes, they used to put their
wow.
Yeah. But you have if you want to hide your earnings, you can pay. If you pay, they hide it. But I've not gotten to that level, so I don't have anything to hide. If you come, you see how much
I'm going slow. See, these are going low key.
I'm telling you.
Can't buy Benz this year.
Hire me now.
$100.
Hire me.
4 days.
Which festival I am?
400.
I saw her put out a
you never collect the money. You don't calculate. You never collect the work. You don't calculate the money.
That is going to motivate me.
I saw her put out role for PA. Everybody where they see they put out role for PA. I'm sure when Jim too was talking about it, he said he's looking for an intern. Yes. This babe said that. Come, I will pay you very well.
If you say now this will be like they do
intern. Intern. She said, come, I will pay you very well.
So, are you not looking for?
I almost apply.
So mountain is so you get PA intern, you get PA.
I don't have
intern. You get PA, the pay well.
I don't have a PA.
Okay, my two questions. Yeah, before we round up, right? So the first one is, if you had to choose freelancing or full time, which shall we go for?
Well, based on my future goals, I'm going to say full time.
Wow. Okay, that's great. Okay, then.
So, I'll still on that choosing. So, apart from you mentioned stability. So, what other thing comes with full time that I really tilt you towards taking full time?
Well, it depends on what you are looking for. So, for me, I'm looking to work as a program person for non-profits, open source, and security-related organizations.
So
that's why I'm learning a little bit about cybersecurity. So, and then aside the stability, the benefits as well, HMO, you know exactly, attending event, paid event, fully funded, traveling, all those things
Companies
you don't get it from exactly all those things you don't get it from
like
freelancing.
this one way go Turkey the other time. If they do this thing, you know, go fit go.
Where pana go be say don't make am. When you say go, who carry you go? Have you been there before? What is that?
For where?
Ah, God. So my second question. So like me and I've envisioned a lot.
So like people like us now that we just want to make it. We just want to make the money. We can still follow the freelancing for a career path.
Do it as a career.
Yes, you can. Depends on what you want at the end of the day. Yes.
But no problem. So my last question I have before we can round up. Just have any questions. So my one is, I mean, I've envisioned what I want to do. I want to get to my $100 per hour for 8 hours a day, 4 days a week, and everything is in my head right now. So how do I stand out from the crowd of people who are vying for this as my $100 goal? You understand that, like you were saying earlier on, that there's virtual assistant is on the rise, and again, nobody you won't really collect that virtual assistant role like 5,000, like 6,000 also this thing. So what are the best way you feel like someone could be able to stand out from that crowd? Like me, at the group, you see me for Upwork now. You see my profile.
I'm going to say it's not a one-way thing. There are various ways. I always advise people as you're just starting out on Upwork or as a freelancer, also be trying out other means, like maybe getting an internship or a full-time job, depending. So all of them is experience. That's what you're building. So what actually helped me, I have already built some kind of experience outside Upwork before I got onto the platform. So I had more things to show. I had work experience to put there. So if you're someone that is just starting out, don't just say, it's Upwork. You ignore LinkedIn, you don't apply for any jobs outside Upwork. So I love, a lot of people yab me that I do 7 things. Only me. I love to diversify, do a lot of things. If this one doesn't work, this one should. Exactly. I'm always on the move. So for you to stand out, it helps if you already have an experience that you can work with. If you don't, then that's when the real job comes in, which means I'm still going to buttress on having a portfolio, having a project. If you're a software developer or a front end or whatever, back end, do you have websites that you've built?
I have.
It might not be for a client. It can be like a personal project.
Yes.
Wow. Okay. So just to like showcase your skills.
So even when you are submitting a proposal, you can tell the client, see, there is this job I just got. So they are looking for a communications person because it's a church in New York. So they are looking for someone that will be handling communication, social media, design, and all of that. I had to show past designs that I have done, and they were like, okay, this is good. And probably that was what tipped the role in my favor. So you need to have things to show. Even when you already have experience, clients still want to see what that you have. And one thing with freelancing, they are not patient like full-time. You can get a full-time job and your first month you're doing nonsense. They just
you progress as time goes by.
But if you do something like that with a client or a freelance client, they
can stop contract halfway.
You wake up and see contract ended.
Wait, but they'll pay the hours you have worked.
Of course, now Upwork has I think I wanted to talk about that, but I didn't. Once you hourly track your contract and make sure that you have your memo written of what you've done. Even if a client did not pay you, like in the sense that Upwork was having difficulty charging the client's card, they are gonna pay you.
Okay, so you have been talking about proposal. So for the sake of people that don't know what proposal means, what does proposal mean too? For context.
Okay, it's just like how you apply for a job. You send your resume and cover letter. So that's what proposals are for Upwork. So when you find a job on Upwork, you apply. If a client did not reach out to you, there are different ways to get a job on Upwork. We have the writing proposals. We have based on direct DM, in the sense that the client has not posted this job. They just want to reach out to you to know whether you are interested. If you are interested, they now create the job just for you. And then there is one they post the job, but then they invite you to apply. So for that one, you will not apply with any Connect. Connect is just like credit. You buy it from Upwork and use it to apply for your jobs. So when the last two, you don't need Connect for those. So in the sense that they are seeking you out. So Upwork is not going to charge you. But if you're the one sending proposals, for each application, it has a particular Connect for it. There are some jobs, 5 Connect, 8 Connect, 10, 12, depending. So it varies. So you check the Connect and know whether you have enough Connect to apply for it. And then you decide whether you want to apply. I'm now talking about how to send a proposal. So you decide whether you want to apply with your general profile. Let's say you have more than one profile, because Upwork gives you the liberty to dedicate each profile based on the skills. Some people have numerous skills and they want to make money out of each of them. So instead of having all of them packed, you can have a general profile that reflects everything you do. And they have specialized profile, let's say for community management, for social media, for graphic design. So which means that in each profile you're talking about that particular skill. So based on the particular what the client is looking for, you can now decide whether you want to apply with your general profile or a specialized profile. After deciding that, you must have read the job description, read it well, end to end, because most times some clients can just attach a word and say, to make sure that you read this proposal, start your proposal, start your cover letter with, I read this job. So imagine you not read it, you will not start it with that.
They'll decline you.
So once you've read the job description well and you know what the client is looking for, you now start writing your cover letter. Your cover letter is what the client sees. It's just like you talking about what you want to do for them and also adding what you've done in the past, your experience, for them to read and decide whether they want to go ahead with you. And then another thing is, when clients are reviewing proposals, they get dozens of it. So you have to make sure that you're starting your cover letter with a hook, because Upwork is not going to show everything you've written. Maybe just a few lines and say, read more. So you have to start with something that will make that client want to read more. And for them to read more, that means that they have viewed your proposal, and Upwork will notify you this client has viewed your proposal, which means which means that they've read your cover letter. And after that, you have another thing where you can add. Upwork will say don't add your resume because they're going to send your profile to the client. So that's why you need to make sure you have a good profile as well. So you have where you can attach maybe links, PDFs of anything you want the client to see to support your cover letter. And after that, there are some clients that will have additional questions that you. So for additional questions, they will have boxes where you can answer those additional questions. And then we have the bidding section, is where you bid. So that it's just like when people are competing. So because definitely the client may not get to see all proposals. Let's say you have 50 proposals. So there are some clients, once they view 2 or 3, they've already seen what they're looking for. So they'll just
move ahead.
leave there. So people bid now so that they can come on top. So especially when you know that you can do this, like this job is me.
This is me.
My work with that.
Yeah. So you now bid, and maybe you didn't see the job early. So it's very good when you see the job early. So you are part of the people that apply very early, because there are some clients that are already there reviewing as you're applying. So if you didn't see the job early and you still want the client to probably see So you can now bid to come on top, but then sometimes people waste their connect. You see someone bidding with extra 10 connect, and these connects are dollars, because you pay to buy up to 60 connects. You pay like $9 plus VAT. VAT is how much? I can't remember, but 9 point something. So imagine you don't even have a job and you're using money to buy.
That money I don't get. Where did you find money?
Those are what proposals are.
Makes sense.
Oh, I think we have done a lot. We have run through this whole thing.
That's a lot. We are talking about freelance in general, and she has been talking a lot about Upwork. So, do you have idea of other freelancing platforms that people can also explore?
We have Fiverr, but I've never used Fiverr, so I can't really talk in details. I've always been an Upwork girlie.
You start finding it.
And then you may not even really need to. You can even get freelance gigs on LinkedIn, on Twitter. So there are all these social media. You can always, it depends on how you position yourself.
You need to host masterclass. You need to host masterclass on how to get the freelancing thing.
Panel session, live session,
masterclass.
Expose that.
Masterclass. You free, but now money to find money. I don't get that money to find money.
No sense.
Or if you be paid, we don't each other for a very long time now. I will know your cousin. Your cousin knows me. Your family friend.
Friend of the family.
Friend of the family. Yes, friend of the family. Exactly. But yeah, I think we have like run through various challenges when it comes to freelancing. The best way to put your best foot forward.
Yes, sir.
Everything right. We have.
Like that.
And if you have not grabbed anything from this episode, I think you have to go back and rewatch again from the beginning and settle down. Carry biro, book and note things and help your life.
Map out your plan.
Because I'm going back to help my own life, and even I will have to reach out to her.
I'm still begging. I still need to hold the hem of her garments.
Give us updates.
Share updates.
I will DM you with when I start my profile.
But yeah, my boss.
Everybody wine each other. Thank you very much for watching this episode and staying to the end. We really appreciate you spending that time to listen to us yap and also
yapping. We're yapping about money.
About money and
very important
freelancing
yapping
in Africa. So it's a good yapping. So if you miss other yaps,
don't miss this one. If you want me, did you from all the things they said, nobody's called Naira. 1 Naira they did not call. They don't call it dollar. So if you like, lose guard.
Working remotely. But no problem. Thank you for joining us and watching this episode. Please do well to follow _Africa on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter. Like we said, one episode, Blue Sky. We go soon go there.
Blue Sky
everywhere.
Don't forget
that.
Yes, the Alpha
We'll be there anywhere you can see us. Don't forget, you can see Jimmy on
Code Jagaban.
As per Jagaban that is. And you can see me.
Bam Bam on.
I am Bami.
You can see me on Timothy_OVIE. And finally, you can see our guest on
Belinda Ijoma.
So maybe you
write down.
Drop things down so they won't fly away.
At this point, you're watching this, you pause. You can go back. It's kind of like 5 seconds.
Yes.
Belinda Ijoma.
On LinkedIn, especially on LinkedIn.
On Twitter, follow him. DM. You see on LinkedIn, you guys send content for if you message him. But Twitter now, if you do code DM, bomb bans straight.
Twitter don't get this thing. You don't get blue. You get blue star.
Guys use money to find money now.
You have to use some money to find money.
What I love about Twitter now, you can call the person on Twitter.
Yeah?
Yes, you send a message, send me not reply, you go call.
That's why you don't.
That's good. That's good.
And they tell her they reply, you call her on Twitter.
Fast.
You have to grab your destiny.
Hold it by the hand. Hold it by the hand.
I'm not telling you to go and call her on Twitter. They will just block you for free. But yeah, thank you for joining us and see you
next time.
Next time.
Bye guys. Take care.